In this video, I'll be discussing how to solve quadratic equations by factorization. I have already made one video regarding the same topic, but I'm making this topic in order to make this topic even more clear to you guys. So let's take first example. We have x squared plus 12x plus 32 equal to 0. Now in order to solve any given quadratic equation by the method of factorization, we focus on this middle term. We split this middle term in such a way that the product of those two terms is equal to product of these two terms. Okay, it looks difficult. Okay, let's say we can split 12x into a number of ways. For example, I can write 12x is equal to 11x plus x, and I can also write 12x into 10x plus 2x, and I can also write 9x plus 3x, and I can also write 8x plus 4x. I can also write 7x plus 5x. Now I check the product of these two terms. The product of x and 11x, it is equal to 11x squared. The product of 10x and 2x is 20x squared. The product of 9x and 3x is 9x times 3x is equal to 27x squared. And product of 8x and 4x is 32x squared. Product of 7x and 5x is 35x squared. Now I check the product of these two terms, this x squared and this 32. The product of x squared and 32, it is also equal to 32x squared. Now therefore I select this one in order to split this 12x. So I can split this 12x into 8x and 4x because the product of these two terms is equal to the product of this term and this term. So let's write 12x is equal to 8x plus 4x plus 32 equal to 0. Now I can take x common from these two terms, and I can take 4 common from these two terms. It is equal to 0. Now I can take x plus 8 common from these two terms. X plus 8 here and x plus 4 equal to 0. I have taken just x plus 8 common from these two terms, so I get x plus 4 here equal to 0. Now the solution is equal to x is equal to minus 8 and minus 4. Solution comes out equal to minus 8 minus 4 for this given quadratic equation. Now let's take another example. Here's one more important point actually. One can argue that 12x is also equal to 14x minus 2x and all that thing, but let's check the product of these two terms, 14x and minus 2x. Product of 14x and minus 2x is equal to minus 28x squared. So we are having something negative here, but product of 32 and x squared is positive, so we want something positive here. And this 12x is also positive, so the terms in which we are splitting this 12x has to be positive, so these two terms have to be positive. So that's why 8x and 4x are positive, because the product of these two terms is positive and the sum of these two terms is also positive because we have 12x positive here. Okay, let's take one more example here so that the things become even more clear. Now I take example x squared minus 16x minus 80 equal to 0. Now let's check the product of these two terms. Product of x squared and minus 80 is minus 80x squared. Now let's split minus 16x into a number of ways. I can write minus 17x plus x, minus 18x plus 2x, or I can write minus 19x plus 3x, and I can write minus 20x plus 4x here. Now the product of these two terms is equal to minus 20x times 4x is equal to minus 80x squared. So I can choose this combination in order to split minus 16x. So I can write minus 16x is equal to minus 20x plus 4x minus 80 is equal to 0. Now I can take x common from these two terms, and I can take 4 common from these two terms. So now I can take x minus 20 common from these two terms. It comes x plus 4 is equal to 0, and the solution is 20 comma minus 4 for this given quadratic equation. Now we have to be careful here. We cannot split this minus 16x into both of the negative terms. For example, we can also write minus 16x into minus 14x minus 2x, but when we check the product of these two terms, it is positive. Actually, the product of minus 14x and 2x is 28x squared, which is positive, but we want something negative here. That's why one term from both of these terms has to be negative, because we have a negative product here and negative sum here. Now I'll be taking one more example, which is the final example of this video. Example number 3 is, I have something like x squared minus 10x plus 21 equal to 0 here. I need to split this minus 10x now, and let's check the product of these two terms first. X squared times 21 is equal to 21x squared. Now I can split minus 10x into, because we want product negative here, product positive here, sorry, we want positive product here, but this 10x is negative here, so both the terms has to be negative here. So I can split 10x into minus x minus 9x, because the product of minus x and minus 9x is positive, and we want something positive here, but we want sum equal to negative here, so both the terms has to be negative here. I can also split minus 10x into minus 2x minus 8x, or minus 3x minus 20 minus 3x minus 7x. Now I check the product of these two terms. Minus 3x times minus 7x is equal to 21x squared, and I want this thing. So I split minus 10x into minus 3x minus 7x plus 21 equal to 0. Now I take x common from these two terms and minus 3 common from these two terms. Now I can take x minus 7 common from these two terms, x minus 7 here, and I get x minus 3 equal to 0 here, and the solution comes out equal to x minus 3, x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 7. So that's all. In the next video I'll be covering the same examples, taking the same equations, but I will be solving them by the method of completing squared.